beautiful people, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for clicking to watch this video. Hello! Welcome back! As you've probably already guessed from the title, we're going to be talking about my hair today, and I was very reluctant in making this video. It took me a really long time to make this video, quite frankly, because it just gave me anxiety to relive the entire process. I did it myself. It took a really long time. I freehanded it, so there's a lot of trial and error. I have a couple bald spots that I'm working through, and I don't know, like, I need to calm down. You can see in my face, I'm like stressed. I'm just getting stressed. I'm chill. It's fine. We're past it. We're moving forward. But it took me a long time to make this video because I couldn't, in good faith, send anyone else down this process until I was able to conceptualize it enough. And even still, I don't know. Hopefully this video will provide details to anyone who would like to embark on this journey. Godspeed. Good luck and Godspeed to you if you decide to. We have come to the conclusion that they are micro locks. I use the interlocking method, and I will explain that in the video, a couple of the methods that I used on my hair, how I install the extensions, how I lock it. I will include in the description box the products that I use to style it and wash it as well. It's been a long journey, but I am very satisfied with the results. I do love it very much, and yeah, if you do decide to do it, I do recommend it, but it is a lot of work and it's a lot of maintenance, so fair warning. Also, I went into this knowing that if it didn't work out, I could just shave my head again because I'd done that before, so that is something to keep in mind too. Like, if for whatever reason it pulls too much, because that is a problem that people have with locks. Sometimes it like thins out their hair and then pulls it out. So fair warning for that as well. Sorry guys, I don't know why this is so awkward. I feel really awkward talking about this. It's fine. It's chill. We're chill. I decided to do this style because I just frankly got tired of wearing wigs and installing weaves every week or 2 weeks. And I also wanted to save like my hairline, like the front of my hair, which it's still been a process. Like, it's still very thin and like growing in, but it's come a long way from when I first started. Like, I was very bald up there at first. If that is one thing I can say, take care of the front of your head right now. Like today. Stop putting tension on it. Stop putting glue. Like, take care of your hairline, please. Please. It's really important. I do relax my baby hair so that they lay straighter, especially in the summer. Like, I've just noticed when I sweat a lot, gel doesn't hold my natural hair texture, so I put a light relaxer on the front of it just to keep it from, you know, being a total hot mess. Also, I live in a really dry climate, so I don't know if that is relevant, actually. I think it is, though. I think it's relevant. Okay, so I'm just gonna get into the process of what I did, and hopefully that covers it. But if you guys have questions or concerns, please leave them in the comments, and I'll do my best to get to them. But honestly, you guys, I just winged it, so I've had a hard time processing how to explain it, and I'm doing the best I can. So bear with me in the video. Yeah, but please leave any questions that you have. Okay, yeah, I'll just get into it. Let's get into it. Okay, so starting, I'm going to show you guys how I make a new braid or a new lock. So this is new growth that I had either from a braid that I had to cut that was pulling too much on my hair and thinning it out, or I just had a lot of new growth in general since starting this whole process. So I've had to go in and make a lot of new locks. So I start with this coily, it's like a light kinky type of hair. It's really important to have hair that's lightweight because otherwise it'll weigh down your hair and then pull it out. Learn this the hard way. So I start by just doing 2 twists onto my natural hair before adding in the extensions, and then I do a braid like normal. And the key here is to separate out the hair to kind of make it tangle. So what you want to do is grab the hair and like pull it and then add new hair into the braid. So like, I hope I'm explaining this in a way that makes sense. You want to continue switching the strands of the braid. So make sure that you're continually pulling new strands into each of the braid. You don't want just one seamless strand for the braid. This is what gives you the tangle effect. So you see how I'm pulling the hair here to just kind of tangle the lock a bit, the braid. but it'll turn into a lock because it's not just a regular braid. I made that mistake too. If you just braid it all the way down, it will not lock or look natural. So you want to do the tangle method. And then here I'm taking this teasing comb. Actually, I think this is a flea comb. I did a lot of DIY here, you guys, so I just used whatever was around that worked. And the bristles on that comb are the best for knotting the hair, and that's how you get the lock to stay. So I'm just showing you guys again what I do. I take my natural hair and twist it twice before adding in the extensions, and I keep a very lightweight amount of extensions that I'm adding. I don't know exactly how to explain this. I just kind of feel it, like, and that again is from trial and error of doing hundreds of these, taking the amount of hair that I feel matches my hair so that it doesn't pull, if that makes any sense. And then when you do the braid, you want to continually grab strands so that it tangles and doesn't look like a traditional braid. Like it'll lock it more because the braid is just a bit more complicated. Again, so here I'm like pulling new hair from different strands and just tangling it a bit. Not knots, it's still a braid, but I just continually pull hair from either side, and then going in again with the flea comb and knotting it up. And then you want to twist out the end too to make sure that it doesn't get bally. Sorry, bally is not a word, you guys. I don't know how to explain. I'm doing the best I can to explain this. I really am. Like, I've literally just made this up. I was just making it up as I go. So doing the best to explain it in a way that makes sense. Yeah. So yeah, let me just repeat that method probably like 400 times. I have not counted how many locks I have because I don't want to, and I'm afraid that it will give me anxiety actually. So then after you use the coily hair, I go in with, this is a like light kinky hair texture. Again, not using too much of that, and then that's what I add into the bottom to make it straight. And here I don't really care much about doing the tangling method. You can if you want to, because it will make it look like a lock all the way down, but I'm mostly just focused on making the lock look as realistic as possible at the top. I will show you guys how to do this if you already have longer hair. Like if you're not starting with the short amount of hair that I'm showing you, you just want to do the same method with your natural hair and then add the extensions towards the bottom of it. You can also add it through the top of it. I did that with some of them, but I recommend just braiding your hair as long as you can, and then adding the extensions towards the bottom. And be careful not to add too much or it will pull your hair out and you will have bald spots. I have some of those also. Yeah, and then you just twist it. You always gotta twist it. Make sure that it's, twisty. Yeah. Okay, so now I'm gonna show you guys how I deal with the new growth, or basically do the locking, like the interlocking. So I take this threading needle that I got on Amazon that I will link below. It's literally just like a regular threading needle, and I thread the braid through it, and then I just sew it up like this. You just put it in like that and pull it, and then you do it again towards the back. I do either 4 or 3, so I'll go like up, down, right, left, or just up, down, right, just depending on how I want the braid or lock to lay. But yeah, I tried using the like interlocking tools and it was just really hard to do on my own. This is the easiest way I found to do it. It just feels like I'm just knitting my hair, like sewing my hair in, and it's very effective actually. Okay, now I'm going to show you guys how to add to an existing lock or an existing braid. So I just take this hair. This is a kinky light texture. I honestly don't even know what this is called. I apologize, I have no idea. But I take a light amount of that, like a very thin amount, and do the same thing that I did on the new growth part of my hair. Just separate the end of the lock into 2 sections, and then go in and do the tangling method again. So you take the very thin bit of hair and you start the braid, but you want to continue pulling strands from each of the braid strands so that it tangles. I also go in and add more hair, like very, very thin amounts of hair as I go, and this contributes to the tangling method as well. So here I'm just taking another strand and adding it in, a very thin strand, and just continuing the braid and stopping ever so often to pull strands and just continue tangling it up. Tangle, tangle, tangle. And then you want to take the teasing comb every now and again as well and tease it so that it locks. This is how I keep the braid from unraveling. Okay, so the next thing that I've been doing for locks that fall off, or like the extensions that fall off and I can't untangle them enough to do the braiding method I was showing you guys, I just sew it on. So I just take the lock that fell, so this is the braid that I did that fell, and then I take some needle and thread and then I just sew it on up. Sew it right on up there, you know, and then just twist it, a little more twisting. I do actually do knots in this, so I'll sew it quite a bit to like sew the dread extension to my actual dread, and then I'll go in and tangle it and make knots as well, which super helpful. I have not lost another lock after doing this method at all. It is a little ratchet, not gonna lie, it is a little ratchet, okay, but you gotta do what you gotta do. You know what I mean? You guys know what I mean. So yeah, that about sums it up. All right, you guys, that's it. I hope that you enjoyed this video and that it was helpful in explaining the process. As you can see, I'm not very confident about that. Like, I'm still very unsure about it myself. I do really love it, and it's a work in progress. Oh God. I do really love it, and it's a work in progress still, but I'm not super confident about teaching people about it, so hopefully this was helpful. I don't know. Okay, I love you guys so much. I'll see you in my next one. Bye. Love you. See you.